am back. Nobody's here, so does it really matter? No. So I am prepping some veggies today, some onions and some green peppers. And I thought I'd bring you along while I chop. Am I good? Maybe I need to move this up here. I'm not very good at chopping onions, not or veggies per se, but I need a cup of these chopped onions. I'm going to do two different recipes for kick of freezer meals. I don't know why, but I'm hoping, let's see if I can move this up a tad. Oh! I do not know what happened there. I moved the phone to try to get a better view and it just went so. But I'm in this kick of freezer meals. Don't ask me why. I'm going to do, thought I'd bring you along while I prep these veggies. I need about a cup for the one freezer meal that you're going to see on this channel. Need a cup of onions, chopped onions. Cutting onions. I do have peppers I'm going to harvest too. I mean chop up that I went and got at the grocery store. So there's that set of onions. It's about a cup. I'm going to do another half an onion and then I'm going to call it good. These onions need to be chopped up anyway. You know, sometimes it's been a rough day. I went to go see my mama. Sorry about the shakiness. Went to go see my mama. And folks, it's hard. It's hard. I feel like I'm in the long goodbye with her. It's hard to see her go downhill like that. I'm blessed that she's still here with me. I am. But it's so hard to do that. Okay. There is 1 cup of the onions for the first set of recipes. I don't think I need any more. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know what the deal is with that. So, got a bag here. I'm going to go ahead and get the other onions cut up. So, you know, I cried all the way home today because it's just hard seeing your parent be like that. It's so hard. I'm going to go ahead. This other set of recipes that I'm prepping for today is, well, you will see it on the my other channel, Luann's Kitchen. I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. Sometimes it's not always feasible. And these aren't organic onions. They would have been really organic. It don't always happen. I know it's in the soil when I buy. I'm still in the process of redoing the garden. I think this recipe that I'm prepping for now, you will see this onion prep because I'm going to do 2 different prepping. No, wait. This prepping that I'm doing now for these sets of onions, this will be for the, you'll see on Luann's Kitchen. Like I said, I like cutting up using the paring knife. I know it's not the proper thing to use. On this recipe, this set of recipes, I need 1.5 cups of chopped onions. So these onions need to be chopped anyway. I'm at least prepping these vegetables. I should have started with the peppers because it's a very strong onion. Very strong onion. And my eyes are starting to water. Not like they didn't water earlier, like I said, cried on my way home. And I gotta get something productive. Do something productive. Because if not, I'll go stir crazy, just stopping and thinking and everything. Because it's hard, very hard to watch your parent go downhill. But I feel blessed that she's still here. I think after this cutting of this onion, that'll be 1.5 cups for this one. And then we'll move on to cutting up the peppers for this. Not very good at this. Not very good at cutting up veggies. I try, but I'm not very good. Okay. There are the onions for that. I'm going to go ahead and scoot all this over because that will go in the compost. Got some peppers that I'm going to cut up, and what I don't use, I will be chopping up to put in the freezer for a later date. Got some red ones too. I'm going to wash them off. You always want to wash your veggies off that you get at the store. Top of chopped green peppers, so I'm going to have to get another bag and at least empty out the half of this onion. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the red pepper first. And the reason why I got the red pepper, I thought I created some pretty color. Sorry about my nose. I know some people don't like when you're snotting, but I just cut up some onions. And a strong onion at that. So, going to cut up here. I'm going to slice these. Be right back. That's a little bit better. Little bit better. Now I'm going to go turn them around like this and then chop. Like I said, I'm not very good at chopping veggies. I don't have the excellent knife skills. I don't really consider myself a good cook. My husband eats it, my family eats it, but that's pretty much it. Well, other family members, my brothers always made fun of me. Wasn't a very good cook growing up. I don't remember my mama ever, she preserved, but not a whole lot. So I'm going to try to do a live on this channel every Monday. Not to say that it won't happen, that it will happen all the time. Because, like I said, I went to see my mama and she's not, she's doing okay, but not, she was really short of breath this morning. It's hard to see her like that. And I had just seen her yesterday and she wasn't as short breath. Yeah, and I know I woulda, been with her. It's hard as a child seeing her like that. Very hard, extremely hard to see her like that. Me and my mama have always been just a can of that. Where'd that green pepper go? Nice looking green pepper there. I'm going to rinse this out. And I may cut that up too. Yeah, I ain't going to cut that up. We'll just move that to the compost. You could if you wanted to, if you was short peppers. Just FYI. But I am not short of peppers. I was able to buy 2 packages of 3 peppers for $5. I remember when the grocery store didn't have that. And peppers are expensive right now in the store. I understand that. I grew up using a pair knife when you're chopping your veggies. I said we need a cup of peppers chopped for this recipe. I'm basically prepping the vegetables I need. I don't know what, so, but I thought I'd do a quick live on prepping vegetables for 2 different sets of freezer meals. The freezer meals are, the one I'm working on now it has stroganoff pork and a couple others. Stroganoff style pork, meat turnovers, and hearty beef soup. Which, the soup would just go in the freezer and be ready for this winter. At least that's the plan. That's the idea of doing it, and I wanted to try them anyway. And these recipes, so there is my 1 cup. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off with a paring knife when she chopped veggies. Always. Always, always, always. And she wouldn't have a cutting board when she did it. She would just do it on the table. Or in her hands. My grandma's never did use a cutting board either. Not that I remember. I don't remember grandma's doing that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it in my Ziploc bag, all these, because that is enough for those peppers and the onions, which were very strong, still very strong. Okay, there's one set of that prep, and that will be the stroganoff style pork, the meat turnovers, and the hearty beef soup, which you will see those on Luann's Kitchen in July. So now I'm going to cut up the peppers for the rest of the peppers for the other recipes. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a red pepper, and a green pepper. And I know I only need a half a cup of peppers for this one. And these you will see on this channel. So I've already rinsed them off. Said I'm not very good at cutting. Now, if you wanted to, you could save these seeds from these peppers. These are gigantic peppers. But I'm not going to. I'm going to take half of one, and then I'm going to use this half. Then I'm going to use the other half of the red pepper. And we're going to chop it up, because I only need a half a cup. Half a cup of chopped green pepper for this one. And these you will see on this channel for the month of this month, hopefully. If I get it all done, and if nothing don't happen in between now and when I get it filmed and edited and all that good stuff. And this prep is for spicy chili. Because there's a basic double duty, it's called double duty recipes. This mixture, I'm doing two different ones because I want to do them let's see, spicy chili, and I've decided to go ahead and try to do the Chili Fest again this year in October. So, which is an open collab. Any kind of chilies, any kind of chili, even if you're using the real jalapenos, which I do have some of those to cut up, but I didn't grab me any gloves. Don't have any gloves. And usually with me, when I cut up, look at there, that came out all in one. I like it when that happens. When I cut up jalapenos, usually have a tendency to scratch my eyes, and that is not the best thing to do when you're cutting up hot peppers. Ask me how I know. So got a lot of stuff here for the compost, or the garden compost. And thank you all for coming in. That has come in, and I apologize if you so what's left of these peppers that I don't need for this recipe, I am going to double check and make sure I don't need them for when I actually prep. I chop them up and put them in the freezer, and I will be doing that after I get all the needs, what I need for this. About a cup of peppers, but would be spicy chili, which you will see that recipe in October. Cornbread tacos and layered meat pie. What I do with the other? There. So now the rest of these peppers, I'm just going to chop up and just put them in a bag for other recipes. I thought I had gotten 3 bags, but I guess not. So I'm just going to chop this. Oh, that's probably edible. Will be my snack afterwards. The rest of these peppers will be just cut up and gone into the freezer, because I don't want them being in the fridge and then something happen and I forget about them, and then that way they could be in the freezer for the next recipe, or come winter I could put it in salsa or whatever. At least that's the plan right now. You know how that goes. You plan something and God laughs, even though you thought you planned something right, but God has his own ideas on stuff sometimes. Let's see how it goes. Human makes plans and God laughs. I think that's how it goes. Man, that onions I cut up was strong. I should have actually went and got onions out of the garden, but I didn't do it. And they probably would have been strong. But I didn't do it. So I'll just fill up this 2-cup. Measuring cup. Cut up the other 2 of these peppers. And then I will probably end this live and go munch on these pepper pieces. Because I like me a good pepper. Like I said, I got these at the grocery store. They were 2 for $5. And it was 2 packages of 3 peppers each. I am making a mess in my kitchen too. Now, I should have wrote the recipes that I want to try for each week, but I didn't do it. I know my plan is to make 8 recipes this week. Hopefully, I could get it done. Hopefully. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. But here, prepping vegetables. I don't think there's any other vegetables I need to prep. for the recipes that I want to do to, well, get started today. I know I gotta prep, cut up the meat for the pork, well, not pork, for the stroganoff, meat turnovers, and the meat soup. I know I gotta prep the meat for that, and I gotta prep the meat for the others, um, chili tacos and the layered meat pie. I think that's what the name of it was. Yeah, that's what the name of it was. But said for some reason I'm in this freezer meal kick. I turn on and watch YouTube. Probably should have chopped that a little bit further up. Watch YouTube and put it on the TV, let it run, no matter who it is. And then I'll watch a playlist, have it running on the TV, and I'll watch a playlist that I have been inspired, I would think, by. Not to say any of you others don't inspire me, because you do. I think we as content creators inspire each other. She has inspired me to do frugal living. So inspired me to do that. Which, not to say that I don't do that anyway, but have always done that. But here lately, I've been liking going to thrift stores and going and visiting my mama and all that stuff. That is all of that green pepper for the most part. But I go to a YouTuber that does a lot of freezer meals, and she's inspired. I think that's why I'm in the kick of freezer meals. I really do think that is what the issue is, but I don't know. But like I said, I'm very inspired by fellow content creators. Gail has inspired me too. Saving seeds and not worrying about um, giving other people, watching different others' content, and working as hard as she does. I'm gonna wash these off. But we're here. We're here to inspire others, though. Us as content creators, YouTubers. At least I feel we are. I'm gonna go ahead and chop that up. At least I hope I inspire others to cook, to um, to garden, to try to grow a garden. Some years each year is different. At least that's my thinking. Each year is different. Each year weather patterns are different. Each year there's other stuff going on in your life, and it's hard to do that. And this has helped me, Lord. I mean, y'all, so much doing this and getting my mind off of my mama. So much. So much. Oh, and the recipes that I'm doing, just in case anybody wants to know, the cookbook that I got the recipes out of is the Better Homes and Gardens Make Now, Serve Later cookbook, which, you know, some of the recipes you will see on Luann's Kitchen, the ones I'm prepping for today. Right now I'm not prepping, well, I am, but I'm not, if that makes any sense. So I appreciate each and every one of you that has come in here just watching me ramble and prep veggies. I appreciate you. And making a mess of getting videos done and going and see my mama. And each day that I go see my mama, it's hard hard to make content per se after I see her, but I got to get my mind off of that her, and that's why I did, one of the reasons why I did this today, to get my mind off of it. And I was wanting to get this done. Is that all the pepper? Wow, I cut all that pepper up. Got another 2 cups of peppers and some snacks for me. So, like I said, if you wanted to, you could cut this up here. But it's hard to get content when you got stuff going on. That's why I'm trying to stay ahead of the game. Because I don't know from one minute to the next. It's between mom and God, but you know, that's where we're at with my mama. I don't think I'm gonna do that one. Now I need to get this done, put all this in the bag, clean up my mess, wipe off my mess, flip this cutting board because this cutting board has a veggie side and a meat side. And I gotta cut up some meat, which will go on the other channel, Luann's Kitchen. And I will go and edit this a little bit. So, well, that is it for today. So see y'all later. And thank you for coming in and watching. And thank you all that come in and watch this now when it's airing live. And thank you for coming in and watching it at a later date. I appreciate each and every one of you. And everyone have a very blessed week.